Hey, what's going on everyone? So today we're going to be taking a look at 3 different bike lights made by Vaunt. Now these bike lights are available on Amazon, and I will leave the link in the description below of this video if you're interested in the current pricing on them or any of the other specs that they have to offer. Now we're going to test out all 3 of these, see how bright each one is, see how more noticeable it would make you while on your bike, and see which one is right for all of you. Now in the end of this video, they did agree to send one free set to one of my subscribers, so make sure you guys stick around to the end so you can see how to enter that contest to win one of these bike light sets. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one we have here is called the Vaunt Scope, and it is a pretty bright flashlight. Then you get a tail light here. Now the one main thing that I like about this flashlight that's a little different from any other ordinary flashlight is that it has a red ring around this edge here, so when the light's on it actually glows, and if you pull that out a little bit you can see it glows a little more. But it glows a red ring around the outside edge, so that'll be nice for people to be able to see you from the sides when you're traveling down the road. And it's also zoomable. You can zoom in and out with this, which gives it a really bright beam if you need to see far away, or it does make a pretty big round circle for you to see up close. Now this thing is powered by 3 AAA batteries, and I'm using in-loop rechargeable batteries in this. That way when they're dead I can just take them out, recharge them. Now they may not last as long as a standard set of batteries, but they are pretty good. If you guys know anything about in-loop rechargeable batteries, they have a very low self-discharge rate, so I highly recommend them if you're looking for rechargeable batteries. And one thing about this light in the back, it does have a few different modes: on, flash, slow flash, and then off. However, the only thing I don't like about this light is it takes 2 CR2032 batteries, which goes in the back here. If you just pop this cover off here, it takes 2 CR2032s. And that's a little bit inconvenient because you're not going to normally carry extra sets of those around, and I just wish it would have been, this little light would have been rechargeable. That's the only downfall to this set that I see here. Now this light's rated for 6 hours of continuous use. It has a high beam, a low beam, a flash, and basically that's it on this light. And it's also zoomable, which is really nice. It's water resistant and zoomable. So this is a really nice flashlight. I really do like it. And it comes with a holder like this, and I'll show you how that mounts on the bike. Now the only thing is about this holder here is if you don't want to leave this on your bike and you just leave the holder on, and the holder is a little bit on the bigger side versus the one that I've been using, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's a pretty nice little holder here that's definitely not going to let your light bounce around once you mount it in there, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. Now one other thing about this Vaunt Scope bike light, it's rated for 120 lumens. Alright, so that one's out of the way. So now the second set that we have is the Vaunt Pyro bike light set, and I'm going to tell you that this is the set that they initially contacted me about wanting to send me these, and I was like, man, those look like cheap lights. I mean, how good are they really going to be for the price? And I got to tell you, when I opened these up, I was really surprised with the quality and the feel of these lights. I mean, they feel, you know, really good quality. They have a rubberized coating on them, which is nice because it has this little clip on the back that you can clip it to a backpack or on your shirt, on your pocket or anything, and that rubberized coating is really going to keep it from being able to slip off really easily. Now they also give you 4 of these rubberized straps so that you can strap it around a post, so you can strap it anywhere on any bars on your bike, or like I said, you can clip it on here. Now the one thing I did notice about these, the way that these are designed, they are more or less designed for clipping around a vertical post like a seat post or a stem. If you clip them on a horizontal bar, they kind of angle in slightly or out slightly depending on which way you mount them, because of the way that this has this little indentation on the back of these lights. Like I said, this is a really nice light. It's rechargeable, which is very nice. It has a 650 milliamp hour rechargeable battery in it that's supposed to last up to 10 hours of continuous use. It has a high, a low, a fast strobe, and also a slow strobe. And you could see here also, just like the Scope bike light, that it has a ring that you can actually see around the side of it. If vehicles or whatever were looking at you from the side and this light was on, they'd be able to see that ring glowing around there. Now you can also take off this silver ring and really get a better glow on that outside edge. I don't think this silver ring really does anything other than cosmetics, but if you wanted to have a little bit more glow around the outside edges, you could definitely take this off and be a little bit more noticeable at night. And the last set that we have here is the Vont Breeze bike light. And this one is pretty nice because when you attach this bracket to your bike, this is the only thing that is left on your bike until you need this light. Then you could just go ahead, clip it on there, and nice form factor there. Now it's rated for 250 lumens. It does have a rechargeable battery, which is nice, 1200 milliamp hours, and it's supposed to last up to 6 hours on continuous use. I'm not sure if that's on high or on low. However, it is nice that it is rechargeable. Now, this light has a high, a low, and a strobe feature, which is also nice. And you can see here that this front edge is a little bit rounded, so when vehicles are looking at you from the side, they're going to be able to see you a little bit. It is nice that it has a slight curve to it to be able to be seen from that side angle as well. So now, just like the Vaunt Pyro bike lights, the Vont Breeze bike light system also comes with the red round rechargeable tail light, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and throw these on my bike, and we're going to see which one of these is the brightest, and we're also going to see over a course of a little bit of time how long these lights last and how quick they diminish in brightness. Alright, so we are about 25 to 30 feet away from that far wall up there, and we're going to shut the lights out, and then we're going to see how bright these lights are compared to the factory Lectric XP lights. This is the original light on the Lectric XP. That's about how much brightness you get out of it right there. Now we're going to turn on the Vont Breeze light and see how bright that one is. And you can see the big difference that that makes there. So I'm going to turn my electric light off, and this is with just the Vont Breeze light. And now I'm going to turn on the Vaunt Scope light. And this is on high, low, strobe. Now with this one, you can see that you can zoom, and you can get pretty bright. If you zoomed way in, it could go pretty far. So that's about I want to say 6 or 7 foot circle on the wall. So you can see when you're zoomed in, it's pretty bright, but it doesn't illuminate the outside edges very good at all. If you zoom out to see directly in front of you a bigger area, you can see it does get significantly dimmer. So I'm going to turn this Vaunt Scope light off and turn the other light back on. So you can see it's really bright in the center, and it kind of illuminates around the edges too a little bit. So now I'm going to shut the Vaunt Scope light off and turn on the Vaunt Pyro light. And this is with just the Vaunt Pyro light. Nowhere near what the other two illuminate. And then if we turn this one on with the electric light, this is with the stock electric light and the Vaunt Pyro lights. Now I'm going to turn the Vaunt Pyro light off. That's with the Vaunt Pyro light off. Vaunt Pyro light on. Vaunt Pyro light off, and Vaunt Pyro light on. So it does make a pretty good difference if you're using it with the electric light, but if you really want a lot of brightness, I would say go with either the Vont Breeze or the Scope. This is with the Scope and the Breeze. This is with both lights. That's the Breeze on low. All right, hopefully I can show this for all of you, but I'm going to set a timer, check it every half hour with the lights all on high, and we're going to see how long each one can last. Let's check it out. All right, so we're a half hour in. We got the Scope on the left, the Breeze on the right, and the Pyro down here. And I turned the rear light on blinking, and this is what they look like on the wall. There's the Breeze after a half hour. There's the Scope after a half hour. There's the Pyro after a half hour. All right, so we are an hour in. And here's the two lights on the wall. Vont Breeze, Vaunt Scope. Breeze, Scope. An hour and 30 minutes in. There's the Vaunt Breeze. There's the Vaunt Scope. Breeze, Scope. Breeze, Scope. And there's the Pyro. Alright, so we're 2 hours in, and this is really where you're going to see a big difference. So we have the Vont Breeze there, and this is the Vaunt Scope. Really, really dim. Breeze, Scope, Breeze, and we'll zoom this one in here. Now that's as small as it'll go. Breeze, Scope. So huge difference there. Basically, the Scope is pretty much dead. Now this may have lasted a little longer if I had alkaline batteries instead of the rechargeables, but I can't see it lasting too much longer like that. So I would say you're not going to get any more than 2 hours out of the Vont Scope light with it being on high. So basically I'm going to shut the Vont Scope off now, and we're just going to continue with the Breeze and see how long we can get out of it. And the Pyro light is still holding strong. Alright, so we're at 2.5 hours. Alright, so this is the Vont Breeze bike light, and you could definitely see a difference in brightness now. You can see it's starting to definitely dim down. I bet you within the next half hour, it'll probably be significantly dimmer than this. And the Pyro is still holding strong. Alright, so it's been 3 hours, and the light on top of the Breeze bike light is flashing red, and you can see there it's very dim. Definitely not going to get, I would say, past 2.5 hours with the Breeze bike light. And then I'll turn the factory electric light back on here. There's the factory electric light, so you can see the difference. Just the Breeze bike light after 3 hours. And there's the factory electric light. And the Pyro light, when I came back up, it shut off, and it just shut off. I turned it back on, it shut off. So not gonna get quite 3 hours out of that either. I would say 2.5 hours each. The back red flashing light still going strong. So this is a time lapse. This is a half hour in. This is an hour in. An hour and a half in. 2 hours in. And then my GoPro died. Alright, so that was a very long test, but in my final conclusion, I would say that if you want a bike light that makes you a little bit more seen at night, but not so much for lighting up the path in front of you, then these Vont Pyro lights are great options. Very reasonable and rechargeable, which are really nice. Now, if you want a light that's going to throw a beam very far and stays bright in just the center with not much illumination around the outside or directly in front of you, then the Vaunt Scope is a good option. Or if you want to be able to replace your batteries on the go, then this is a good option. However, the only downfall with this system, like I said, is it's a shame that the rear light is not rechargeable, and it takes those special CR2032 batteries. And then you have the Vaunt Breeze light, which in my opinion is the best for overall just in general, because you get the good rear brake light with this that's rechargeable, just like the Vont Pyro system. And then you also get the pretty bright light for the front that it's not super bright, but it gives you that glow directly around you, and it shoots that pretty bright beam right in the center, which throws a decent distance. So overall, this one lasted the longest at around 2.5 hours or so. This one lasted about an hour and a half to 2 hours with the rechargeable and loop batteries. And these ones on high lasted somewhere between 2.5 to 3 hours before it shut off. So not quite the specs that they have listed on their site as far as how long they last. But again, it doesn't really say if that's on flash, low, high that they rated that at. But I would definitely say that I would use this one more often than not with this rear brake light. Now all you got to do to enter this contest is make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button and comment below which set of these that you would like for them to send you for free. And then after my video gets 100 likes, I'm going to go ahead, pick a winner, and they're going to send you one of these sets for free. So thanks for watching, and I will see you around on the next one.